What would you do if you lost everything in one day? Your house, your savings, your retirement, your dignity, all of it, gone, at 66 years old. I need you to stop what you are doing right now. Put down your phone. Turn off the distractions. Because what I am about to tell you could change your life, or save it. Here is a truth that will make some of you angry. I never paid for health insurance. Not once in 30 years. And I was proud of it. I bragged about it at dinner parties. I argued about it with friends. I told everyone the system was a scam. I kept all that money in my pocket. I thought I was the smartest person in the room. I was the biggest fool on this earth. My name does not matter, but my story does. Because right now, someone watching this is thinking the same way I did. Someone is saying, I am healthy. I do not need insurance. Why pay for something I never use? I said those exact words for 3 decades. And now I am living in my daughter's spare room with 4 boxes of belongings. That is my entire life now. Stay with me until the very end of this video. I'm going to tell you the one thing I wish someone had told me when I was 35. If I had known this one lesson, I would still have my home. I would still have my savings. I would still have my independence. This one truth could save your entire future. So please, do not click away. Let me take you back to where my mistake began. I was 36 years old, young, strong, full of energy. I could work 14 hours and still feel fresh. I never got sick, not even a common cold. My friends called me Iron Man. My doctor said I was in perfect health. I believed I was untouchable. My company offered health insurance, good coverage, but I looked at the price, $200 every month. I did what I always did. I calculated the numbers. That is $2,400 a year. In 10 years, $24,000. In 30 years, $72,000. I thought to myself, why should I give this money to insurance companies? They are just waiting for me to get sick. But I never get sick. I eat healthy. I exercise daily. I do not smoke. I do not drink. I am not like other people. Nothing bad will happen to me. So I said no. I kept my $200 every month. I put it in my savings account. I watched that money grow, and I felt like a genius. When my coworkers used their insurance for hospital visits, I laughed inside. Poor fools, I thought, wasting their money on something they do not need. I was different. I was smarter. I had beaten the system. For 30 years, nothing happened. No accidents, no hospital visits, no major illness. I was living proof that I was right. Every healthy year made me more confident. Every birthday made me more proud. I retired at 65 with a beautiful savings account, a house that was fully paid off, a small but steady pension. I had won the game of life. I was ready to enjoy my golden years. Then came the morning of March 15th, the morning that destroyed everything I had built. It started like any normal day. I woke up at 6, made my coffee, sat on my porch watching the sunrise. The birds were singing. The air was fresh. I remember thinking that life could not get any better. Then I felt something strange, a small pressure in my chest, like someone was pushing down on me. I ignored it. Probably just muscle pain. Maybe I slept in a bad position. I was healthy, remember? Nothing bad happens to healthy people. I went inside to make breakfast. The pressure became pain. It spread down my left arm, up into my neck. My jaw started aching. Sweat covered my entire body. I could not catch my breath. My heart was pounding so loud I could hear it in my ears. I collapsed on my kitchen floor, the same floor where I had stood 1,000 times before. Now I was lying there, unable to move, unable to breathe, thinking this was how I would die, alone, on cold tiles. Somehow, I reached my phone. My fingers could barely move. I called 911. I tried to speak. Only whispers came out. The operator kept asking my address. I could barely answer. Then everything went black. I woke up 3 days later. Bright white lights, beeping machines, tubes in my arms, wires on my chest. A nurse stood over me with a gentle smile. She said, "Welcome back. You scared us for a while." I had suffered a massive heart attack. My heart stopped beating for 2 full minutes. The paramedics brought me back to life. Doctors performed emergency surgery. They placed 3 stents inside my heart. They saved me. I should have felt only gratitude, and I was grateful. But a dark feeling was growing inside me. Fear. Deep, cold fear of what was coming next. I stayed in that hospital for 12 days. Every day brought more tests, more specialists, more treatments. Nobody talked about money. Not once. When I asked a nurse about the cost, she just smiled and said to focus on healing. When people avoid your question, the answer is always bad. On day 12, the doctor said I could go home. My daughter hugged me with tears of joy, but I was watching the door, waiting, knowing someone from billing would walk in. She came that afternoon, a young woman with a folder. She sat beside my bed. Her eyes were kind but sad. She had done this many times before. She opened the folder and turned a paper toward me. I blinked. I looked again. I thought my eyes were broken, but the number was real. $487,000 for 12 days, for 1 heart attack, for staying alive. The ambulance ride, $8,000. 15 minutes of driving. The emergency room, $42,000, just for walking through the door. The surgery, $189,000. The 3 stents, small metal tubes, $63,000. 21,000 each, smaller than my finger, worth more than my first car. The hospital room, $72,000, $6,000 per night. Everything else, tests, medicine, specialists, all with price tags I could not believe. "Do you have insurance?" she asked. That word hit me like a punch. Insurance. The thing I avoided for 30 years. The thing I was so proud of rejecting. "No," I whispered. "I do not." Her face changed. She knew what my future looked like. She had seen this story before. I went home, but I was a different man. The collection calls started within weeks, every single day, sometimes twice. They were not kind like the hospital staff. They were cold, demanding. They wanted their money, all of it. They put a lien on my house. My home was no longer mine. I had 2 choices, sell it myself or watch them take it. I sold my house of 23 years, the house where my children grew up, the backyard where my grandchildren played, the garden I planted with my own hands, the walls filled with decades of memories, gone, all gone, to pay for 12 days in a hospital bed. After the sale and all the payments, I had $30,000 left. At 66 years old, after 40 years of hard work, $30,000 was my entire worth. Then my daughter said the words that shattered me completely. "Dad, come live with us." She said it with love, with kindness, with an open heart. But I heard something else. I heard failure. I heard the end of everything I was. I was a proud man who never needed anyone. Now I needed my own daughter to survive. I moved in with 4 boxes, 4 small boxes containing my entire life. Let me share what I wish someone had told me decades ago. Being healthy today guarantees nothing about tomorrow. I did everything right. and my heart still stopped without warning. Insurance is not about using it. It is about having it when disaster strikes. Like a seatbelt you wear every day, but only need once. The money you save will never be enough. 72,000 saved, 500,000 lost. You cannot outrun medical bills. Your pride is not worth your future. Being right for 30 years was not worth being homeless at 66. You are not gambling alone. Your family pays the price too. My choices became my daughter's burden. Here is my final truth. Hope for the best. Prepare for the worst. Always. I am 69 now, 3 years since my heart attack. Taking 7 pills every morning. Living in a spare room. Some days I feel okay. Most days I feel broken. My grandson asked why I always look sad. How do you explain regret to a child? Do not want my pity. I want you to listen. If you are healthy and skipping insurance, I was you. You still have time. You still have choices. Get insurance today, not tomorrow. Today. $200 a month is nothing compared to losing everything. Be wise. Learn from my pain. Do not become another me. That is my story. That is all I have left. Now go protect yourself. Go protect your family.